Hello, welcome to another episode of the Ask Minister Your podcast. So, we are in a series where we are discussing the four styles of toxic communication. And last week, we were in week one talking about criticism. And just a quick recap, criticism is when you are attacking your spouse's character and personality traits when your goal was to address a behavior. Um, and how do you avoid doing that? You use I statements like I feel, I think, I need, as opposed to you never, you always statements. Because you want the person's defenses to be down and you want them to really be able to hear your heart and not hear accusation. So today we're going to jump into week two. And so week two, we're going to look at contempt. Now, criticism left unmanaged would lead to contempt, sort of like an escalation. Criticism is a lower level. If it's not addressed, if it's not fixed, it'll lead to contempt. So contempt is a passive aggressive behavior where you show obvious, blatant disrespect for your spouse. This is from the person initiating the conversation. So when a person is in contempt, it's like, I don't even care how you take it. You criticize me so long that now I'm blowing up and I'm gonna tell you how I feel. I'm not gonna care about being respectful. I'm not gonna care about saying it in love. And I'm just gonna blow up and I'm just gonna tell you how I feel. And I don't care how you take it. That's contempt. This person assumes a position of moral superiority. This includes sarcasm, name calling, eye rolling, mockery, or ridicule. This is the person that gets mad and then they want to make shots or cracks about a person's personality or character or imperfections in their body. For example, let's say if I'm upset with my husband, teaching purposes only, let's say that he cross-eyed. So I get upset with him and I say, with your old cross-eyed self. So now I'm making fun of his condition, which has nothing to do with what we're discussing. That's contempt. That's me talking about, you need to go somewhere and sit down with your bald head self. What they got to do with what we're talking about? So you've been criticized so long. Here it comes. It's been building and building and poof, that's contempt. Contempt means I don't care who hear me. I don't care what I say. I don't care when I say it. And I don't care where I do it. This is the couple that's in public fighting. This is the couple that can't have a conversation in the counsel's office. They have escalated to this level. This is the single greatest predictor of divorce. When you get to contempt, this is the single greatest predictor of divorce. The person who's receiving contempt feels despised. They feel worthless. They feel little. They feel belittled. They feel like I'm nothing because my spouse talked to me that way. I feel like I'm nothing. If contempt is allowed to persist, the receiver may end up in depression. You hear this all the time. You're nothing. You're worthless. You're bald headed. You're fat. You're a skinny string bean. You all kinds of stuff that you say out of anger that you don't really mean. But once it's out, guess what? Can't take it back. And once you hurt somebody's feelings, you can't unhurt them. This is especially true in marriage and relationships because sometimes we can take our spouse for granted and we can treat them disrespectfully because we're married and we think they're going to always be there. We can say whatever we want to say. They're going to always come home. They're going to always be willing to fulfill our needs, whether we would fulfill theirs or not. It's like I'm taking you for granted, and we shouldn't do that because nobody wants to feel like um, they're worthless. Nobody wants to feel like um, you just disrespectful to me. No, especially me, and they really, really despise disrespect. That's one of their needs. They need to feel respected, not just in the world, but especially at home. And when they are the receivers of contempt, it opens the door for all sorts of negative things to flow your way. Let me give you an example. Let's say my goal is to ask my husband to take out the trash. Let's say trash day is tomorrow and I want him to take it out today because it's falling over and it's stinky. Okay, all right. So I could say, hey, you forgot to take out the trash. And he looking at me like, and you want to take it out yourself. Hmm? Okay. My clap back like would be, you make me sick. I can't stand you. That's contempt. That's contempt. You lazy. You good for nothing. You don't do nothing around here. Why can't you take out the trash? That's all you do anyway. Contempt. That's contempt. That's not love. That's not speaking in love. That's not being respectful. That's not honoring. It's not. It's not. So what's the solution? How could I have said that differently? Maybe I could have said, hey, honey, I understand you're busy, but could you try to remember to take out the trash? I really appreciate all you do around here. And um, if you could do that, that would be really good. That would make me really, really happy because it's running over and it's stinky. That's different than me rolling my eyes and telling him you make me sick and you lazy and you don't do nothing around here. No way. Wait, you see the difference. It's about how you say what you say. But contempt, man, when you get to this level, we got some work to do. Another solution is to regularly express your gratitude, your appreciation, your affection, and your respect for your partner. Regularly is a key word in that sentence, not just on Mother's Day or Father's Day or birthdays or Christmas or anniversary. Okay, it's some more days during the year where you need to appreciate your spouse. This reminds me of the five love languages. You need to figure out your spouse's love language and commit to speaking their love language consistently. They will feel love. Once you feel loved, you are less likely to feel contempt. Once you love someone genuinely, you are less likely to speak to them with contempt. So a great solution would be to have 5, 6, 7 positive interactions to every negative one. Let's say if I have to have a conversation about a behavior my spouse is participating in that is not pleasing to me, that is not bringing me joy. Let's say he's forgot to take the trash out for 2 weeks and all the trash cans outside overflowing. Let's say we have to have a conversation that may not be positive in nature. Before I can have a negative conversation, I need to have had at least 5 or 6 conversations with him that were positive. You don't want all your conversations to be negative. You want some positive conversations. And maybe this takes practice for you. Maybe you're not wired that way to affirm, to give affirmation to your man or to your wife. Maybe that's not how you're wired, but nobody wants to hear negative all the time. There is some balance. 5 or 6 good things to every negative is a pretty good balance if you just have to address of negative behavior that's in your marriage. So, 5 love languages is the key for a lot of things, but I think it will definitely help last week's um, toxic communication style criticism and this week toxic communication style of contempt. So I hope this helped you. I hope you were able to gain some insight of what not to do as it relates to communicating with your spouse. Now, next week we'll jump into week 3 where we'll talk about defensive. Till next time, go in God.